Mighty Mouse, Shilde Dundal. Well, there's Clesio Castro joining this team. Didn't play for them in the Afro Basket, but he's been a key addition so far in this window. And Abu Gaku, one of the best stretch fours you're going to find here in the African continent. Well, here's a veteran player, Ishlando Manuel. Just got off to a good start in their opening game against Uganda. And well, Kevin Kokila, naturally a backup center to either Gilson Banga or Bruno Fernando. There's Milton Valente as well. The two final players coming out will be Braz Machi and Bamba Cisse. Well, this coaching staff, a lot to build on since winning the Afro Basket. They'd love to go 3-0 tonight. As I mentioned, it's a rematch of the final, in which we saw the sellout crowd in Luanda. Well, what's not to like about Mali? Everything is to love about this team. I mean, they are a team that had to have expectations. El Hadji Dicko said after that historic opening win against Egypt, we expect to get to the World Cup. And there's their most experienced veteran player, Ibrahima Haidara. And there's probably the most exciting point guard in international basketball. Nearly had a triple-double in that victory against Uganda, Siriman Kanute. Because a lot is going to be said about the Drame twins. Well, both Fusene and Hassan Drame played NCAA basketball. There's Baby Shaq, big man Balo. Arguably one of the greatest centers, and that's going to be a great matchup to see him go up against Bruno Fernando this evening. Well, the man who helped him get the victory against Uganda in the second half was the first player to come out there, number 12, and that is Mahaman Koulibaly. I mean, this is such a talented team, and there's Mamadou Sissoko. But if you look at the final player to come out, Mamadou Diarra, I mean, he's got such a high release and such a good three-point shot. If Angola plays zone today, you've got to go to Diarra on the perimeter and find him those open looks. Coach El Hadji Dicko, very proud of the work his team have done. But now, fans, let's stand for the national anthems of these two beautiful countries, Mali and Angola. Well, it's a beautiful time to embrace the culture diversity in the international basketball zone as we listen to the national anthems. Le Mali, the Mali, is their national anthem, while Angola Avante goes forward Angola. And that's the best part of the day, but now we're going to get set to introduce four very important people for tonight's game, and those are three referees and one commissioner and technical delegate before we look at the starting lineups. Well, it's always great to see the battle of the Afro-Basket to try and get their spot in Qatar 2027. Those are three referees for this evening's game. And we're very proud, of course. We have Jan Vezo Davidson, we also have Didier Gaga, and we have Wali Fikadu Gebeto. All our referees are coming from Madagascar, Rwanda, and Ethiopia, while our commissioner technical delegate for tonight's game is Hasham El Hariri. We'll take a look at Angola's starting five. Celta Miguel will be in the backcourt with Shilde Dundo, the 2025 Afro-Basket Most Valuable Player. Braz Machi will come in at power forward along with Abu Gaku, and Bamba Cisse will be the starting center, which does leave Bruno Fernando coming off the bench tonight for Pep Claros. Well, the Basketball World Cup in Manila, Philippines. The OQT, the Olympic qualifying tournament in Valencia. But glory came back to Angola last summer in Luanda. Can he get this team to the World Cup again? Well, Siriman Kanute, that is going to be the matchup to see as he'll go up against Shilde Dundo. Koulibaly, Mamadou Keita will start out tonight, while Mamadou Sissoko and Mamadou Diarra. So a small lineup here. Well, head coach El Hadji Dicko is actually going to start Umar Ballo on the bench. Well, I think the big thing, two matchups we want to see in both the back and front court. Kanute versus Dundo, while also Umar Ballo up against big man Bruno Fernando. Well, the official sponsor of the Tissot countdown to tip-off is underway, and a big thank you. Of course, a big merci beaucoup to all of our Malian fans watching, and a big obrigado to all of our Angola fans, to Tissot, for a magnificent partnership and collaboration with FIBA International Basketball for many decades. Well, it's continuity, building. Going back to 2019, when many of these players were playing for the Mali U19 national team at the Basketball World Cup, the U19 one that was, and they made that historic run to the final, only to be taken down by the United States of America. For Angola, can they beat Mali for a sixth time? This is actually the first time both Mali and Angola have met outside of a FIBA Afro-Basket. Goes back to the very late 90s, up until now, only the sixth meeting. Like I said, if you watched the Afro-Basket this past summer, I'm telling you, with the great work of both FIBA and the Basketball Africa League, professional hoops on this magnificent, beautiful continent is getting better and more exciting. Because the Angolan fans making the journey from Central Africa all the way here to the north on beautiful Egypt. What a game we're about to witness. I'd say given the starting lineup Mali has, I mean, they don't necessarily have a natural center. I mean, Mamadou Sissoko is a power forward, but welcome everybody. Game day 3 of window number 1, specifically for these two teams in Group D. 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Bit of ghost action coming from Celta Miguel as Dundo just trying to free up some space. Here's the matchup. Kanute up against the MVP of the Afro-Basket. Time winding down for Abu Gaku. He's got to put up a tough three. Well, they've been shooting above 30% from the perimeter. Mali below 20%. Could that be a difference tonight? Kanute goes right at Dundo, but he misses the layup. Well, he's got to keep that under control. And again, they go very quickly. And Angola are going to go to the free throw line. Well, here's the one area of development for Mali. Yes, they're very talented, but they are still a young team with the exception of Ibrahima Haidara. But they have the propensity to commit a lot of fouls and a lot of turnovers. Whereas you look at Angola, team slightly more experienced. As Abu Gaku currently at the charity stripe here for Angola. Well, currently playing for Petro de Luanda. He's been there since 2015. 2024 Basketball Africa League BAL champion, because 2022 was part of the BAL All defensive team, 6-time Angolan league champion. Kanute defended by Shilde Dundo. The play is exceptionally quick. Diarra penetrates. Nice kick out, good ball reversal. Well, they get an open look from the perimeter. It's not a bad offense by Mali, but they come up with the offensive rebound. This is what I love about these two teams. So well organized. Just very good execution. And always coming up with high percentage looks. Well, it started with this great penetration by Mamadou Diarra. There's a baseline kick out. They get a ball reversal. Now, granted, it doesn't go in. But they're two very well coached teams. Sissoko trying to find Kanute. Dindol just chasing it. Kanute's got a kick out. They get an open look. Koulibaly pump fakes. A little too short, but another good look. That time Brasmachi just comes up with it. Angola keeps it alive. Well, good work by the MVP of the Afro basket, and in the end, it becomes 2 more points in transition. But it's all down to Shilde Dundo. Diarra brings this one back out. Now they're gonna go the ball screen with Koulibaly. Wants to keep this one under control as Kanute finds a paint entry. Weighs up his options. Well, nice textbook post work, and again, brilliant move inside the paints. Well, who said the low block is a retired game, an extinct game? Absolutely not. Mamadou Sissoko just putting the moves inside the key. Gaku's made 1-3. Falls to the ground. That's going to be what keeps us alive. Well, Cisse turns it over. And now Kanute wants to run. Gets the bump, and he'll go to the free throw line. But he's got to be one of the top point guards right now from the Afro basket, Siriman Kanute, as is Shilde Dundo. You have to remember, 24 years of age, started his career back in 2020 with Sloop Nancy in France. That's where he's played his entire career. Now, he was born and raised in Bamako, Mali. Because when he was a youngster, just 17 years old back in 2018, as well as being a 16-year-old back in 2017, he was twice MVP at the FIBA U16 and U18 Afro basket for Mali. Gaku wants to face up, defended by Diarra. Nice post work, goes in, but a foul is going to be called. Well, Mali's arguing there was a traveling violation that went missed. Diarra also arguing there was an elbow. That's where Abu Gaku may have an advantage. There's no elbow there, but I would argue, well, maybe the foul was called, then the travel happened, but Abu Gaku back at the free throw line here for Angola. Makes the first free throw. Because he was the one who had that final three-pointer in the semifinals against Cameroon. Only averaged 8.5 points per game at the Afro basket for Angola. Mali come up with a rebound, trailing by 5 points. Diarra's got to get some help. They're going to get called for an 8-second violation. Wow, it's going to be a turnover. So great defense by Bamba Cisse. Well, no. Well, Siriman Kanute telling everybody, get forward. I can't pass it in here. Well, that's going to be a backcourt violation. Mamadou Sissoko losing his balance. He felt he got pushed. So that's only going to be a reset of the 14 shot clock here for Angola, but they still lead by 5. Over 2.5 played here in the first quarter. Shilde Dundo trying to get a release open from Siriman Kanute. Seconds winding down here. Gaku's made 1-3, goes for another one. Rolls in and out. Cisse offensive rebound. That's going to be a big X factor between these two teams. Who can come up with the second chance opportunity points? With Sultan Miguel in the lineup. Tries to go for a post-up. It's going to have to shoot it. That's going to be a 24-second violation. And that's the kind of defense head coach Alhaji Dicko demands from his players. The discipline just to dictate everywhere Angola went on the offensive end. But Mali's got to find some rhythm here offensively. Well, they rely on Siriman Kanuti to get open. Right there, he's just asking for a little bit of help. I mean, Mamadou Keita, all you got to do is set Kanuti a screen. He's long gone. Nobody in the qualifiers, and I mean the entire qualifiers, is going to be able to keep up with Siriman Kanuti's speed. Mahmadi Koulibaly's got to help out here. He's wide open in the corner. Kanute gets it to him. Has a wide open look. Three is up. That's a third good look from the perimeter. Mali comes up with it. Loose ball scramble, and now Celta Miguel gets it. Angola wants a run, but they throw it away. Koulibaly still has it. Finds Diarra. Well, Diarra is wide open. Mali just scrambling here offensively. High screen coming here for Siriman Kanuti, but he tries to deny it. Angola's defense just so physical, but that's going to be an offensive foul against Mali. Well, Mamadou Sissoko gets called. Let's have a look here on the roll. Oh, no, it's on. I think there's two they missed. I'd say Kanute was quite lucky he didn't get called for that. Still a 5-point lead to Angola. Abogaku currently leading scorer here for Angola with 6 points. As they want to find an isolation. The Iverson cut by Celta Miguel. Well, ankle break at time. Celta Miguel for three, and obrigado boa notte. Ankle break at time by Celta Miguel. Well, beautiful basketball. Diarra gets caught up in it. The foul is going to be called on Shilde Dundo. Or is that on Bambasi? I think that's on Dundo. It's on Bambasise, so that's his second personal. Pep Clara selecting to bring him to the bench. Well, checking into the game, Milton Valence, who's been quite key for them so far in their first 2 wins. Mali. Again, it's another unforced turnover. Angola want to run with this one. Well, Celta Miguel try to find Abogaku, and now Diarra can run here in transition. Goes through the contact, a little too strong, can't get anything. Well, Alhaji Dicko wants a foul called there, but to me that looked like good defense. Neither team with only one foul to give. Now Mamadou Keita just tries to keep Shilde Dundo in front of it. A task almost impossible that we've seen so far here for every Angola game. And that's just why Mighty Mouse always finds a way around the defense. Well, Diarra running again, bumping. No option, good defense here by Abogaku. Kanute gets a handoff. Finally gets it. Good offense. And there was a curl screen action. And as soon as he penetrated, Mamadou Sissoko is wide open. Only the second field goal for Mali here in the first quarter. 8-point Angolan lead still. Well, Celta Miguel made his last shot. Diarra tries to close him out, but it's no avail. Celta Miguel coming out like a house on fire. 11-point lead to Angola, their biggest margin of the game. Well, that's going to be the fourth and final team foul against Angola. Well, Mali only has one to commit. They've got to try to get to the free throw line, because when you have the 2 quickest point guards, and I mean they're quick, they got to be up there at least top 5 in international hoops for now. It's always tough when you want to pick up either Shilde Dundo or Siriman Kanute full court. Umar Ballo in the lineup. There's a penetration. A lot of contact. But in the end, tough finish. Double clutch. Much better play by Mahmoud Koulibaly, who now gets his first field goal. Slicing it down to single digits as Angola persistently want to run ball screens with Shilde Dundal. That's going to be a 3-second violation. I think you can see Coach Pep Claro's quite infuriated. He wanted him to get out of the key, so Kevin Kokila will come into the lineup. And he's going to have the task of trying to match up with Umar Ballo. Still haven't seen Bruno Fernando here in the first quarter. Look, Angola's got no fouls to give. But this might not be a bad foul by Kevin Kokila because, as we saw in the first two games, Umar Ballo can be very inconsistent from the free throw line. Take nothing away from him. He's a fantastic player. Because Ballo's been averaging 21 points and 11 rebounds, but so far he's taken 16 free throws in the two opening games, and he has missed 7 of them. He's just got to get his legs under his free throw. It's only just come off the bench. This season currently playing his rookie year of professional basketball in Italy. He's playing for Pallacanestro Cantu. And they love him in Italy, I can tell you that. A lane violation. Well, the bucket counts as he cuts it down yet again here. 8-point lead to Angola. Pushing Gonzalez, and there's the interception. Good defense. Drame comes up with it. Drame makes a contact. No foul given. Well, no, it's a delayed call. And that's the right one. Well, this is what you get from both Fousseni and Hassan Drame. The anticipation, ready to get into the passing lane. And it's what Mali wants to do. They want to run. The only thing that we saw that was quite exciting, the only difference at the AfroBasket, Mali can knock down threes in transition. And when it gets to that, they can beat almost any international team on any given day. Zabugaku, along with Eduardo Francisco and Bruno Fernando watching on. Both free throws made by Drame. Cuts it down to a 6-point deficit. Lucchini just trying to find the gaps. Orlando Manuel also into the lineup here for Angola. Time winding down for Lucchini. There's a kick out. They got to go for something. Goes in around the defense. Can't get it. Canute comes up. Turbo speed in transition, but he's going to have to bring this one out. He'll go for a quick three. It's up, and he buries this one. And now it's a one-possession ball game. Having trailed by as many as 11. Still under 3 minutes to go here in the first quarter. Well, there's a penetration. Good help side by Ballo. Mali not giving away offensive rebounds. And they'll get this one back. Mali just having to deal with the full court man-to-man pressure here from Angola. Canute put the moves on against Lucchini. Made his last three, and he makes another one. Siri Iron Man Canute from downtown. Well, he's feeling confidence, and it's terrifying for Angola's defense. Levels things up at 16 apiece. Kokila's wide open, doesn't get it from Lucchini. Lucchini loses it, and now here comes Mali. Here we go, fans. Well, he missed it. What transition hustle defense. Well, can Angola make them pay? A lot of contact, nothing given. Drame comes up with it. Angola's offense discombobulated at the moment. Haidara off the bench, he'll go for three. And Mali, that's what I'm talking about. Threes in transition. 3 consecutive triples have completely turned this game around as now they have a 3-point lead. It's a rematch of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket, and you've got to love it. Now it's the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. The two kings of African hoops battling it out here in Alexandria, Egypt. Well, we're going to go down to Angola's bench to find out what Pep Claros is going to address to his players.
Ils sont dans la pénalité maintenant. C'est bon. Ils sont dans la pénalité maintenant. On attaque. On va au CSO, les gars. Hein? Excuse-moi, tu viens quelques minutes. Tamanjan, tu vas à ta place. OK? Attaque them.
Well, when the Iron Man from Mali gets going, he'll make it rain. He's quick, he's fast, and he's clinical and clutch. Siri Iron Man Kanute. This timeout was called by Mali, which is interesting because they'd actually build the momentum. Well, they built it, excuse me. So Kanute will go to the bench. And he nearly had a triple-double against Uganda. And he becomes an icon for future generations of Malian players. They'll watch him. They'll be inspired from what he does. It's just that kind of basketball play that makes you fall in love with the game. But the one area of development for him, he does commit a lot of turnovers, but he's still, you know, in the process of becoming an elite player in his prime. Currently playing for Orléans Loiret in the second division of French basketball. Missed attempt coming from Shilde Dundo. Mali want to run here with Koulibaly. Koulibaly finds space. Oh, I should have gone up with it. He would have gone fouled. It's another Mali turnover. Mali does have one foul to give. There's now Bruno Fernando in the lineup. That's the other battle everyone's been waiting to see. Umar Ballo versus Bruno Fernando. Because Fernando had that time playing in the NBA, but now plays for Real Madrid in Liga Endesa. And Dundo just cannot get it to go. That's another foul. Orlando Manuel is going to send Umar Ballo back to the free throw line. Well, they've probably acknowledged anytime you foul Umar Ballo. Well, as I said, he's missed 8 free throws so far here at the World Cup African Qualifiers. It's always a gamble, though. I missed another one. Might miss them both. Not a bad foul at all. And there's Mali's final foul to give away. It's on Hassan Drame. Still a bit of time going here, but a potential 2-for-1 coming up for Angola. Dundo gets around the defense. That time lays it up off the glass. And slices it down to a 1-point deficit. If Angola gets a stop, it could be a 2-for-1. That's the problem taking Siriman Kanute off the floor. They don't have a natural point guard. Koulibaly having to play point forward. Mambala comes up with a screen. Adera made his last 3. Hits the top of the backboard. Mali almost got it. And now Angola can have the final play. Fernando goes in and clinically finishes. Cool, calm, collected by Bruno Fernando. Still a bit of time here for Mali. Koulibaly. Oh, didn't realize how much time is on the clock, and now we head in to the second quarter. With Mali trailing by 1, having trailed by as many as 11, they took a 3-point lead. And now Haji Dicko knows there's plenty of work to do against the defending champions of the Afro-Basket. A rematch of the final between the two very best from Africa. And both teams undefeated so far here in the FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers. Well, both Mali and Angola converted 3 3-point field goals. Angola slightly better from inside the rainbow. And Mali, 50% already from the free throw line. We'll take a look at the highlights from the first very soon. There it started with Abu Gaku from downtown. Very high release, tough to defend. Was very similar player to Mamadou Diarra, but they both like to spot up from the perimeter. Here was Selton Miguel. Ankle break in time. Take me to the FIBA Basketball World Cup, Selton. But don't break the ankles on my journey. Knocks it down. Big time play. Shaking and breaking. And in the end, counting it the triple. And there was Kanute getting the handoff. The first field goal inside the paint for Mali. That time, Mamadou Sissoko. But again, Miguel, too much time and space. Diarra too late on the closeout. And there was the penetration. That was a lot of contact. And at that point, Koulibaly may would have thought, hey, I should be going for a three-point play maybe. But here was Siriman Kanute. So much confidence in his three-point shot. So quick. Well, fans, if you love international basketball, I'm telling you, make sure you get Courtside 1891. Courtside 1891, the home of international hoops, where you can get all the best live streams, scores, and schedules, and you can use that QR code and download it today. Because it is the second window of the FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. You can watch all games across the globe. Because games still coming up this evening, and tomorrow will be the final day, and the third window will take place at the end of June. Drame. The referee was wide open. I'm pretty sure he could knock that down, but he's not wearing a green jersey. Started the second quarter live here in Alexandria, Egypt. Third game for these two teams, both undefeated. Later on, Egypt and Uganda will take place against each other, looking for their first wins. As Islando Manuel knocks that one down. That's the 4-3 of the game so far for Angola. Two possession leaders, Kanute. Well, there's a turnover. Dundal comes up with it. A lot of contact. Count it. And Mighty Mouse, MVP of the Afro basket, going to the free throw line. Well, this is what we saw Angola do against Uganda. Force a turnover and quickly convert it into fast break buckets. But in this case, a fast break three-point play coming up for Shilde Dundal. Foul is on Hassan Drame. Dundal looking to extend this to a 7-point lead. If he does that, he'll have 7 points. And the free throw just rattles in. Almost a minute played here in the second quarter. Still interested to see that. Angola haven't flirted with the idea of going to his zone. Fernando trying to be aggressive with Umar Balo. Finds Hassan Drame. Drame goes to his left. Tough play, comes up with his own rebound. Finds Balo. Balo's got to go up with it. Again, tough play by the big fella. Well, they had a few options wide open on the perimeter. Balo just avoided the 3-second violation. 2-possession lead currently to Angola. Dundal patiently waits for that screen from Kokila. Mali just able to recover in time. Dundal's got to put up something. Fernando fakes it. That's the second 24-second violation against Angola. So again, positives here for Mali's defense. Well, backdoor play finds Drame, and that's a much better buildup from Mali. Hassan Drame, or Vuseni Drame, his twin brother. Well, Bruno Fernando will try his luck from the perimeter. That's a little too short. Big offensive rebound. Hydera just preventing the and-one. Foul, I believe. Wow, Kokila getting into it with Vuseni Drame. The officials just trying to get into the middle of this to prevent things escalating. Ibrahima Hedera just having a gentleman's conversation with Islando Manuel. Not sure what transpired there. Well, it's a rematch of the final. Mali's never ever beaten Angola. Emotions, national pride running high with all these players. And Mali just want what Angola has, and that's the crown, the throne of African basketball. But what did happen? Tough to see. I don't know exactly what took place. Our three officials are just trying to decide what happened. A big shout out to our three referees. Because from Ethiopia, we have Wali Fikado Gebeto. From Rwanda, we have Didier Gaga. And from Madagascar, we have indeed Jan Vezo Davidson, who you may remember actually officiated at the FIBA Intercontinental Cup. This gentleman right here going to the table, he's one of the top referees in world basketball. He was in Singapore last summer. I think a double technical, I believe, may be called. Which means they're going to cancel out with each other. The free throws coming up. Originally here for, I believe it was Kevin Kokilo who went for the attempt. No, I was wrong. So it's Milton Valent at the free throw line. Well, a chance here for Angola to try to calm down the bleeding. Because Milton Valent is for one of the two top teams. Now in Angola, you have Petro de Luanda, who's usually, I'd say usually one of the top teams as well. There's two of them. While Milton Valent, since 2024, has been a member with Primero de Agosto. This was a big factor at the AfroBasket last summer when they were crowned champions. And back in his youth days, back in 2013 in Madagascar, he won the U16 FIBA AfroBasket with Angola. So like many great Angolans, he's come through the system. Second free throw, no good. Kokila, offensive beat, rebound. Goes up, gets rejected. While Umar Ballo said, not in my house, monsieur. Canute's made 2 threes. Doesn't get this one. Comes up with his own rebound. Finds Ballo, but turns it over. Now Angola have numbers. Dundao goes up, and oh, baby, showtime Forza Angola. Mighty Mouse with the dime. What a play in transition. 10 points already from the turnovers. They'll go for another 3, and that just calms it down for Mali. Beautifully tucked away by Mamadou Keita. Well, this is what it's all about. The kings of African basketball. Just putting on a showcase. A basketball battle of the moments. It's a baseline penetration. And a nice little jump hook by Milton Valent. Two-possession lead, and I think a foul is going to be called away from the ball. It's on Milton Valent. Well, here was the turnover. Get ready. Open up the runway. Mighty Mouse with the diamond. Milton Valent, captain in the airways. Wow, it's going to be another. I think that's an offensive foul. Mali just losing a bit of discipline in their offense. Well, Dundole will try a 3 from downtown. Hydera comes up with a rebound. Mali don't have the numbers. Keita to the left, but they go back to Canute. Oh, Canute just too casual now. Here comes Bruno Fernando. Almost turning it over. Valent just keeps it alive here for Angola. You got a nutmeg. That ball's all over the place. Shilde Dundole just able to keep this alive. Dundole penetrates. Paulo with the rejection. Well, again, nice little jump hook by Bruno Fernando. Extending Angola's lead to 6. Both teams are ready with 2 blocks here in the first half. It all falls apart whenever Mali turned the ball over because Angola are just so quick to get the ball down the other end. And it's going to be another offensive foul. Wow, it's incredible. It's on Umar Ballo. Well, look at this. Ballo, the king of Mali, said, "Thou shalt not enter the throne. Thou shalt be denied. Au revoir." Ballo, unfortunately, it's going to be a timeout, excuse me. So we're going to head down to Mali's bench to find out what Alhaji Dikko has got to say to his players.
Les gars, c'est dans la tête. Ils veulent vous rappeler pour que vous jouez. Et puis depuis qu'on a commencé, on a joué une seule fois notre système et ça marche. Ça marche. Mais quand on joue les systèmes, ils pensent que vous vivre. Quand vous, c'est dans la tête.
Well, another look at the Ballo block, but then the jump hook quickly by Bruno Fernando. It's the battle you want to see. Bruno versus Ballo. Well, use that QR code and download Courtside 1891, where you can watch more international games as exciting as this one here in the World Cup qualifiers. A rematch of the 2025 FIBA Afrobasket. Like I said, Mali just wants what Angola has. Angola's got the history. 12 FIBA Afrobasket championships, many appearances at FIBA Basketball World Cups and Olympics. Mali just want that. They want to dethrone Angola. 6-point lead currently to Angola. 5:30 to go here in the second quarter. Going handoff here with Bruno Fernando. Juan Francisco penetrates, almost turned it over. Bruno comes up with it. Mighty bounce. Goes for another three, it's up, and he extends their lead to 9. Well, he just reminds Mali, remember, not only a Afrobasket champion, I'm also the most valuable player. Canute, another turnover. Dundal comes up with it. Has numbers. Finds Francisco, but he misses in transition. Now Drame wants to run, but he throws it away as Bruno Fernando makes it interception. And here comes Angola. Mighty Mouse, 3, MVP of the 2025 FIBA Afrobasket, leading this team to Doha 2027. Already 13 points to Shilde Dundal. And now it's a 12-point lead again here to Angola. And Ballo gets fouled. And that might not be a bad foul by Eduardo Francisco. Ballo just taking a big shot. Well, Bruno. Was Eduardo Francisco knocked him down. Yeah, we'll have a look here. Mighty Mouse in transition. Africa's #1 point guard. He's a national icon, a hero to many Angola basketball fans. I think an upgrade has been made to an unsportsmanlike foul. So I think it's going to be 2 shots now here for Umar Ballo. Mali will get it back. So you may not know, but head coach Alhaji Dikko is a senior official in the Mali Army, because he knows all too well about how to train players and troops to get them ready and to make them ready for any big game. Second free throw good for Umar Ballo. Is this going to be a game plan tonight for Mali? Send Ballo to the free throw line. Ballo so far 4 points, only 2 for 6 from the charity stripe. 11-point lead to Angola. Ballo has time, space, step through, goes in, finishes in the paint. Big Ballo, too dominant. They've got to get the ball to him. Still Angola in control of this one here with 4:13 to go in the second quarter. Fernando wants to go Ballo. Francisco crosses, the leg crosses over. Finds Miguel, who's made 2 threes. He pump fakes, finds time, space. Another three-pointer for Angola. Well, they're lighting up tonight. Hasn't missed a shot from the three-point line so far. Hidero's made 1 already. Can't get this one. Ballo offensive board. Conte coming off that screen. Makes a bit of contact, and now he'll go to the free throw line. Well, intelligent play by Sirman Kanute. Has 7 points, 4 assists, but he does have 5 turnovers. Mali currently 40% from the three-point line, as they've already made 4 out of 10. Angola, impressive. As I said in the first 2 games, they were only 32%, but they're now 7 out of 10 tonight. Mali had a very tough night from the three-point line against Uganda. Uganda played right from midway through the second quarter to the end, a 3-2 zone defense. I just wonder, even though they are 4 out of 10 tonight, is that something Angola will want to go to this evening? Milton Valence going to the bench. He's played very good minutes. Shildaden Doe, defended by Sirman Kanute. Going to have that advantage of 10 points. Can go working the screens, now penetrates in and around the defense, but he misses the layup. Fernando had the offensive board. Keita comes up with it. Good hustle by Kanute. Mali want to cut it down to single digits. Kanute has Ballo. The help side's there, the foul's committed, counted! And the king of Mali, Big Ballo, will go back to the free throw line. 8 points for Umar Ballo. Hasn't missed a shot from the field tonight. He's only missed 4 free throws. Know when he's in the game, you've got to find him in the paint. Whether that's on a lob on a bull screen or even a simple post-up. Just give Ballo the ball. Kevin Kokila's got to go to the bench. Dundal gets around the defense. That's poor positioning by Keita, because that's now just going to send Shilde Dundal to the free throw line. Because Dundal had 16 points in the final against Mali. He now has 13 already here in the first half. Neither Mali nor Angola have any fouls to give. And Keita, his positioning has got to be better. Dundal makes the free throw. 5 out of 8 from the free throw line this evening, Angola. I think it's 6 out of 9. So anybody can be called on at any point to kind of step in for Pep Claris' team. Kanute penetrates, hangs in the air. Ballo offensive board, pump fakes, goes in, and he's got to make that one. Well, that's got to be 2 consecutive and ones. And he knows it. 9 points for Umar Ballo. Already has 3 rebounds and 2 assists, but like I said, the Achilles heel tonight for the big fella. 3 out of 7 from the free throw line. Well, he's just a rookie, but like I said, you look at him, you think he's going to have a hell of a career. Well, he played high school basketball in Gran Canaria, in Las Palmas, excuse me, de España. Played at Gonzaga for 1 season, University of Arizona for 3, and finished at the University of Indiana. Second free throw, no good. Still an 8-point deficit. Well, Lucchini's going to be primary point guard, sending Shilde Dundal off the ball. Fernando may have got away with the travel. Celta Miguel gets it taken away by Kanute. Mali can have numbers. Canute, a lot of contact, and now he'll go to the free throw line. That's intelligent play. They did have Fousseni Drami running with him. Has Canute a chance to cut it back down to a 6-point deficit? Guess he does have 9 points. Already 5 assists. Getting into double figures. Now actually the leading scorer for Mali. Shirley Dindol, both elite point guards, leading tonight here in this game. Dindol's got 15. Quick three by Dindol, goes up with it. It's not going to go here for Angola. Can they make it a 2-possession ball game? Maybe a 1 possession if they hit another 3. Canute. Well, they left him wide open. Big mistake. And that's just why as he knocks down his 3rd three-pointer. And now he's got 14. Siri Ayman Canute makes Angola's defense pay. Angola, having led by as many as 12, just allowed this to slip away as Bruno Fernando looking for a post-up. Well, Lucchini will try his luck. Can't get it. It goes out of bounds, and Mali will get it back at 141. Bugaku just couldn't come in to retrieve that one for Angola. Canute just trying to put the works on. Finds Balo. A lot of contact. Another and 1. The king of Mali. Now becoming the joint leading scorer along with Siriman Canute. And Canute picks up his 6th assist. Now he can level things up with 90 seconds to go here in the 2nd quarter. It's a rematch of the FIBA Afrobasket final. The only difference, this is the first time, the 6th meeting, but the first time Mali and Angola have met outside of an Afrobasket. And it won't be the first. They will meet each other again in the next window. The Mali bench, by Alhaji Dicko, just providing the towel to relieve a little bit of moisture that's on the rock at the moment. This time Balo makes the free throw, and we're all locked up at 43 apiece. Because some of the Angolan greats have played in this fixture. Miguel kicks out, finds Dindol wide open. The three's not going to go. Abugaku comes up with a rebound. You got to think of Kikos Gomes, Eduardo Mingash, not to mention Carlos Moraes as well. Balo comes up with it, and now Mali can take the lead. Just over a minute to go here in the 2nd. He goes to his right. Gaku's got to help out. Idera penetrates. A little bit of a problem, and make it a 3rd and 1. Mali, at the moment, turning the tables. And it's the Chief, Ibrahima Haidara, the most experienced player on this team. Well, the eldest statesman, just really the leader of this team if you think about it. It was crucial for them in the run-up to the final of the Afrobasket. Was playing for La Rochelle in the 2nd division of pro basketball in France. Having a good year, actually. Was averaging 7 points and 4 rebounds per game. Extending it to a 3-point lead for Mali. Neither team with any foul to give. Dindol matched up by Mamadou Keita. Gets a high screen coming from Clesio Castro, and again rejection time. And now Mali can run. They have numbers. Drame finds Canute. Quick 3. Doesn't get it. A 3-on-1, and they went for the 3-pointer. 1 second difference between game and shot clock. Celta Miguel contact, but he doesn't get the and 1. And now he'll go to the free throw line for Angola. What a second quarter of excitement and exhilaration between these two teams. Substitution coming in, Milton Valence will just give Shilde Dundal a breathe, and I think that's Pep Claros just trying to ensure that he doesn't pick up a second foul. Not necessarily foul trouble. Umar Bala will now go to the bench. Celta Miguel will try to cut it down to a 1-point deficit. Celta Miguel currently playing for Navicius in the Lithuanian LKL this season. Because he averaged 10 points per game at the AfroBasket. He was actually a 66% free throw shooter in total. Final play here in the first half of Mali. Kanute nearly turning it over again, but he'll get it back. Kanute still has it. Time winding down. In the round, the defense can't get it. Well, that locks it up here at the end of the first. Mali having trailed by as many as 10. Now find themselves up by 2, a rematch of last summer's FIBA AfroBasket Championship, the two best teams in Africa. Right now starting their journey to the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup in Doha, Qatar. Both of them undefeated in their opening 2 wins against both Egypt and Uganda, but only one of them is going to remain undefeated after this evening. Stats there, Angola currently just 47% from the perimeter, actually 32% from downtown, 7-11 from the free throw line. Mali slightly out-rebounding Angola, 19-15. Mali slightly better, 13 assists. Surman Kanute leading Mali with 14, Umar Bala with 13, while both Celta Miguel and Shilde Dundal in double figures, combined total of 25. We'll take a look at the highlights very soon. Lando Manuel making that three-pointer for Angola at the beginning of the second quarter. Surprised to see the Maga team's gone into his zone, but to be honest, they're actually shooting quite well from the three-point line. Fousseni Drami coming up with the offensive board, and the king of Mali, Umar Bala, inside the paint. Well, you got to feed the beast. Feed the big man. Fousseni Drami that time getting it inside the paint. And there was Kanute. That time turning it over. Milton Valente in transition. Shilde Dundal threw it up. And Milton Airlines. Let's have another look at it. Clear the runway. Look out below. Valente with the connection. That was Dundal getting rejected by Balo. Balo's paint protection has been formidable so far here for Mali. Exciting stuff indeed we've seen from both teams. While it's half time, we will be back in just under 13 minutes.
They're in for a showdown here tonight.
Let's get this party started.
Oh my goodness sakes, that's a throwdown.
Goes in for the dunk. Good night. Too big, too strong, and just too good.
Who goes in and scores. Ah!
This is what it's all about.
It's all one big basketball family, folks. Mali makes it in. He is a magician. Winning time. Both teams over the limit. You have got to be kidding me!
Now Robinson Apong finds Sabanda, bit of contact, counted, and he'll go to the free throw line. Juan knocking down the three. that time to space up. Banda goes in and gets rejected. With Ibrahima Haidara's big time block.
Oh, nice action. Perfect offense. Great job cutting to the basket.
Gordon is swatted out of bounds. Oh no, not in this house. Radio, moving and scooping, driving in, laying it up. Crowd are loving it. There they go again. Pass stolen by Yevo, leads to another break, and Volare goes up for the dunk. Look at this. Volare says, I want to be on the highlight reel. Here's it. Flocka, oh, he goes for the block and dunk, and he gets swatted. And now the lob and the dunk. Look at this block. Great block by Faye.
And wow! Dundao with a big time shot.
Video shows the handles. Oh, not sure about that finish. Oh my goodness! It's back to the basket. And Candy just flushes it. Extraordinary dunk. How many times are we going to see this? Baseline. Are you kidding me?
Papa Nicolau says, give it to me.
Go tax to close out. Big Bruno inside.
Fills it up.
Welcome back, everybody. Live here in Alexandria, Egypt, where currently it's a 2-point lead in favor of Mali against Angola, the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. So far, Angola being led by Shilde Dundal, the most valuable player from the AfroBasket final. Well, these two teams met in that extraordinary final in Luanda. It was Angola breaking the hearts of Mali, and this man did the damage with 16 points in that final. And so far here at the end of the first half, he's got 15. Shilde Dundal comes just as tough as they come. Lightning speed, already has 5 assists with his 15 points. He's Mighty Mouse. They love it. That's 2 out of 5 from the perimeter, 3 out of 7 from within inside the rainbow. He's doing a lot of damage. The high-arcing three-pointer right in the face of Siri Ayman Kanutse, who actually is leading the way for Mali at the moment. Well, the Malian Iron Man, 7 assists, 14 points, 5 out of 6 on the free throw line, and has already converted 3 three-pointers. Because he hasn't scored from inside the rainbow, but the speed that he plays at that he possesses and demonstrates as the Shilde Dundal makes them, you know, 2 of the toughest point guards to defend in international basketball. He plays so quick. It's so exhilarating to watch. It's terrifying. Well, that time being defended by Lucchini, and even Lucchini has a hand in his face. Now, Sirman Kanutse currently playing in France for Orléans Loire. He's just tough to handle. nearly had a triple-double against Uganda. Of course, Shilde Dundole also nearly had a triple-double in their win against Uganda. But that just wasn't meant to be. Well, in his face, as he reminds the defense. Because I'd imagine both players are most likely to come up with a double-double this evening. Where Dundole nearly got his triple-double, he also nearly had a quadruple-double, considering how many steals he had in the game. Well, welcome back. We are live here in Alexandria, Egypt. This has been an exciting atmosphere so far. Well, Mali, of course, many of these players just entering the prime of their career. Go back to 2019 when they were all 18 and 19 years of age, representing the U19 Mali national team at the World Cup, making it all the way to the final, only to lose to the United States of America. Well, he's fun to watch. He's exciting. He's the kind of player that just makes you want to play the game of basketball, make you pay those tickets, those online TV subscriptions, because of the style that he plays. Because he's a fearless young god, and his father, many regarded him as one of the greatest players in the history of Malian basketball. While for Angola, history was made last summer when they did make it to the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Because of 15 out of 32 from the field, they have missed 4 free throws. But much better from the three-point line this evening, shooting 47% from downtown, which is much better than the usual 32%, which they did against both Uganda and Egypt. Well, it was a big win for them last night against the Pharaohs. Egypt's still winless, but they will take on Uganda later on this evening in this group. Well, Angola, because of the 12th FIBA Afro-Basket Championship they won this summer. I mean, they are the kings of African basketball. That's not going away anytime soon. When you think about this continent, how many great teams are going to be competing to get those spots at the World Cup? I mean, in this group, you got 4 very good teams: Angola, Mali, Egypt, and Uganda. Then you got to remember Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal. This past summer's Afro-Basket was just excitement. So many great players, so many great teams. Well, I imagine he'll get to a double-double tonight. Whether he can get to a triple-double, well, that's going to be another question to ask. But I think the two matchups that are most exciting coming into this game, we've already talked about Shilde Dundole and Siriman Kanute, but then you got to go inside. Umar Ballo, who so far this evening has 13 points and 4 rebounds against Real Madrid's Bruno Fernando. Because Bruno Fernando having a hell of a season in the Spanish ACB, the Liga Endesa. Umar Ballo currently playing in Italy for Pallacanestro Canto, and it's actually his rookie season. There's the legendary coach, Pep Claros. Because has seen his team twice build 2 double-digit leads, but now they find themselves down by 2 against Mali. Well, the job now is to get Angola back to a 10th FIBA Basketball World Cup. They made it to the last 2. Claros was head coach in Manila, Philippines, where that defeat against South Sudan prevented them from going to the Olympics in Paris. Because they went to the FIBA OQT in Valencia, had a very tough competitive game against Spain in their opener, but disappointingly losing to a very inspired, tough Lebanese national team. Oh, moments away from getting the second half underway, and I think the early moments of the third quarter are really going to dictate how this game is going to play out between these two giants of African basketball. I mean, they're the best. The proof is in the pudding. They made it to that final at the Afro-Basket. It was a convincing win for Angola at home. One positive in this game that Angola can take away, they've converted 18 points already from Mali's turnovers. Because both teams 11 and 15 points in transition. But it's actually Mali right now leading the second chance points and points in the paint, and a lot of that has come down to Umar Ballo. Mali have 18 points inside the key, while Angola have 16. There's Eduardo Francisco, currently plays for SL Benfica. Now, they had a tough campaign this season in the Basketball Champions League in Europe. But Mali building their legacy, making history. Because Mamadou Diarra, if If you go from the round of 16 to the quarterfinals and semifinals when they defeated Senegal, he was crucial in all of those games. The threes he made in transition. It's a tough player, Mamadou Diarra, excuse me. Alhaji Dicko's done a fantastic job of, blending this talent when they were young kids with the leadership of Ibrahima Haidara. The players have gone back to the benches to get some final words from their coaches. Clara's just giving some instructions. Let's see, of course, if we can hear what he has to say. Well, while you're listening, use that QR code and download the official World Cup qualifying app. Customize your experience. Follow your favorite players and teams. Right from the qualifiers up until Doha 2027 for the FIBA Basketball World Cup. Download it today on your smartphone, tablet, or Android.
Box out après les tirs. Ok les gars. Allez. Assemble la batterie. Allez.
I think you heard the deliberate words there from head coach Alhaji Dicko. Box out. Don't give away too many second chance points. I mean, Angola's offensive rebounding side has been very good. Well, it's the excellence, the discipline coached and taught by Alhaji Dicko. Well, Angola so far only have 5 offensive rebounds, 15 in total. Something they'll be quite disappointed about, but welcome back. Live here in Alexandria, Egypt. Game day 3 here in actually window number 1 for this Group D. Well, Braz Malachi just drawing the foul against Mamadou Sissoko. Well, no foul called. Turnover, actually. So Mali will get it back. Slight wet spot on the floor. Angola gonna put on a bit of full court pressure. They've been doing this all game long. Guess they have to try to contain Sirman Kanute, but to their credit, Kanute has committed quite a few turnovers. 23 points coming from Mali's bench, only 11 from Angola. Kanute attacks the gap, little teardrop, and he gets that one to go. 16 tonight for Siri Ayaman Kanute. Well, Kanute, along with Ibrahima Haidara in the floor, along with Drame as well, so it's a similar starting lineup with the exception of Haidara. I think a foul's going to be called on Abu Gaku here. Yeah, Gaku's going to get called for it. Good decision by the referee. Well, Gaku trying to save his hell, but that was clear as daylight. .24 left here in the third quarter. Still very early in the second half. They're shaking a hand between Haidara and Abu Gaku. Kanute defended by Shildin Ndo. Keeps his dribble alive. Keita. Oh, good defense. Mali keep it alive. Still time here on the shot clock. Sissoko finds Drame, goes in, get it denied. Good defense by Cisse. Well, Bamba Cisse said no Bamba there on the dunk. Miguel finds the penetration, kicks out at Cisse, goes in with the big time Bamba Bamba. And Mali want to run quick. They'll go in and make that the 8th assist for Sirman Kanute. Oh, quick thinking by the young god. Great court vision by Ayaman. Sending it back to a 2-possession lead already. Drame with the finish. Gaku fighting Celta Miguel. Time expiring here on the shot clock. Miguel's made 3 threes already. Not going to get this one. Keita coming up with a rebound. Pedrame just giving it away to Bamba Cisse. There's the play now. It goes in and finishes. And make that assist number 6 for Shilde Dundo. Well, they cut it down to a 2-point deficit. Because Angola want to make Siriman Kanute give up the ball. Now he's going to double team. Avoids the backcourt violation. Hydera's got to keep it alive. But in the end, Angola should have come up with a possession there, but that's going to remain Mali ball on the baseline. Well, there was the Bamba block. And here was the Bamba dunk. Cisse, are you kidding me? Dole trying to get up in the face again, trying to make Kanute give it up, and they do just that. A foul is going to be committed by Mamadou Sissoko. Angola won an unsportsmanlike. See, this is quite similar for Mali against Uganda when they led at the beginning of the third, only to go down by 10 and had to make a comeback. Mali's got to find composure in their offense. Well, they're going to go for a review. They're going to see if this needs to be upgraded. It's a big moment now here for Angola. Angola have led by as many as 12 in this game, but if this gets upgraded, they'll get 2 free throws, then they'll get the ball back. So our officials going to the monitor to see if any upgrade is needed. So far, great work from our 3 referees. Jan Vezo Davidson from Madagascar, from Rwanda, Didier Gaga, and from Ethiopia, we have Wali Fikadu Gebeto. But does this decision need to be upgraded? Well, I wouldn't be surprised. Because a deliberate tug right there, coming from Mamadou Sissoko. We're going to find out very quickly. That was the interception. Good anticipation by Abugaku. What's the reach from behind? Comes with that right arm, right around the torso of Abugaku. But is that interpretation by the referees going to be seen as an unsportsmanlike? Because the problem right now, Siriman Kanute gets too casual in the front court. And he walks into an Angolan double team. At that point, he's got to throw a lob pass, which Sissoko's going backwards, and that's an easy interception for Angola. Well, a decision has been made. No upgrade. So no trip to the free throw line. It's just going to be a normal foul. First one for Mali here in the second half. Dudole's going to lead the offense. Keita trying to keep him at bay. Sultan Miguel been defended by Siriman Kanute. Angola looking to level things up. Dudole denies the screen. Gets bumped. Foul drawn, so he'll go to the free throw line. The foul's on Mani Koulibaly. Well, that's the issue whenever you defend Shilde Dundole. He's just so quick and Mamba-like getting around the defense. He's already made 3 free throws this evening. Hasn't missed so far. Remains perfect. Makes them both. He's just trying to deal with the full court pressure. This man to that presence said, "Here we go, bon nuit, good night," from Koulibaly Airlines. And make that assist number 9 for Siri Ayaman Kanute. And there's a little lob. It's actually a shot attempt. So Mighty Mouse will go back to the free throw line. Foul is on Kanute. Well, Iron Man through the lob, and Koulibaly made the connection. Well, it's actually on Keita. That's his 4th personal foul. So my apologies to Siriman Kanute. Dundal remains perfect from the charity stripe so far for Angola. 6:49 left. Dundal trying to level things up. Makes them both. Nothing separating these two teams as the Angolan fans, with their proud flag waving high here in Alexandria, Egypt. It was a big win for them last night against Egypt as well. Both teams haven't defeated both Egypt and Uganda. Koulibaly trying to play point forward at the moment. Angola coming up with it, forcing another turnover. Now they can take the lead. That's surely a traveling violation. No, they get away with it. Well, Brass Machi with a good defense. But can they convert here with Dundal? Well, Dundal, that's going to be a backcourt violation. Just when Angola was looking to reclaim the lead with 6:19 left. Well, the king of Mali coming back in the lineup. Mamadou Sissoko will leave. He'll go to the bench. He's played some good minutes so far here for Mali. Only 2 out of 2 from the field, but he does have 4 points. Because along with his 4 points, unfortunately does have 4 turnovers. But it's Balo time in the paint, as well as Bruno Fernando checking in. Kanute looks to spin, goes in, simply unstoppable. 18 tonight with 9 assists. 1 assist away from a double-double. Miguel finds separation. Mid-range no good. Haidara comes up with it. Now Kanute wants to run. The foul has been drawn. Well, Mamadou Diarra, I don't think appreciated the block attempt because the foul had already been committed. But look at the twist and turn by the Iron Man. Well, both players. It's an exciting game to watch. The 2 elite point guards of the AfroBasket. Because as many great PGs we saw last summer at the AfroBasket, and Jean-Jacques Boissy from Senegal. Because that was probably, if not the most exciting AfroBasket to watch. I mean, many teams contested to get to the championship, and no doubt those great teams, Cote d'Ivoire, Senegal, Nigeria, South Sudan, all wanted to book their places at the FIBA World Cup in 2027 in Doha, Qatar. That's going to be Angola's 3rd team foul. It's on Bruno Fernando. Sideline possessions. Now they go into Balo. Wants to go up against Fernando. It's a tough one. Good defense. Mali unable to come up with an offensive board. Cisse kicks out the Shildi Dundal. Good transition defense by Mali. Fernando hesitates. Finds Miguel. He'll go baseline. Tries to initiate a little bit of separation. Time nearly up here on the shot clock. Fernando's got to make a choice. One-legged teardrop. That's not going to go. We got a few seconds to get over the halfway line. Haidara. But good hands by Bruno Fernando. Goes out of bounds. Mali will get it back. Well, the problem for Mali is that if Siriman Kanute doesn't have the ball in his hands, they have to really work hard to get the ball over the halfway line. .509 left. High screen coming with Balo and Kanute. But Kanute's got 9 assists. But again, good hands, and 2.7 left here on the shot clock. Enough time to get it inbound for maybe a dribble or two. Diarra, this is what he did at the Afro basket, and he's fouled in the process. Well, it's going to be 3 free throws coming up. And Bruno Fernando penalized for the foul. And Diarra, with these 3 free throws, can actually give Mali their biggest lead of the game. They've led by as many as 4. If he converts all 3 of them, it's a 5-point lead. And that's Fernando's 4th personal foul. That spells trouble for Angola. Mamadou Diarra, because one of the clutch players from the 3-point line we saw at the Afro basket. So far in the first 2 games, he's averaged 12 points and 5 rebounds. Because you want to know where he's playing. Well, he's playing in Paris for Le Voyage Metropolitain. And if you know that club, because they once featured one former Victor Wembanyama. Second free throw good, or third free throw good, excuse my apologies. Mali's biggest lead of the game. Dundal wants to go for another 3, it's up, no good. Pulls comfortably into the hands of Abogaku. Second chance points, Angola's got to find other ways to score. Kanute. Diarra trying to find separation. Wants to initiate contact, and just how did he make that one? Well, since making those 3 free throws, his confidence has come to life. Celta Miguel kicks out, finds Baba Cisse wide open, and he buries the 3-pointer. End-to-end stuff between Mali and Angola. Over 4 minutes to go here in the 3rd quarter. Koulibaly having to be a pressure reliever at the moment. Bit of Spanish pick and roll coming, but another foul committed. It's on Braz Malachi, so free throws coming up here for Mali. It will be Mahmoud Koulibaly going to the free throw line. Angola's got to be cool at the moment. Cooler heads need to prevail. 9 points per game so far here for Koulibaly in the qualifiers. Had 11 against Uganda. And that's his first missed free throw of the qualifiers. Second one good. 3-point Mali lead. They're just trying to work the screens. Balo coming out and switching. Now he's got to recover. That's good rotation defense by Mali. Well, they come up with another offensive board. Dundal, time, space, 3. Levels things up at 60. Mighty Mouse, now at 22. He's on fire tonight, fans. He's on fire. Sirman Kanute, and there is Iron Man's double-double. Sirman Kanute finding Mamadou Diarra. 18 points, 10 assists for Sirman Kanute. 2-point lead to Mali. I stand corrected, that's 11 assists for Kanute. He already had the double-double. That's the penetration out of control. Mali don't get it. Miguel's already made a few threes tonight. Cannot get this one. Diarra comes up with the rebound. Kanute wants to go right at the defense. No foul given. Goes out of bounds, but Mali will retain this. Foul is going to be on. Well, there's... I'd say he has a case there. Because quite clearly, Clesio Castro did reach. Well, it's a double-double indeed. Bala just being a relief on the pressure. Kanute gets it back. Finds Diarra. Spins. Another foul committed, and again, Angola should have no arguments. Too much reaching. Time was winding down. Diarra wasn't going anywhere. Claris's players lack the discipline defensively. I mean, there's the first reach. There's the second one. Gaku's got no argument. That's a good call. They want to extend their lead. Diarra just too short on the free throw. Seven points tonight for Mamadou Diarra. Second one good. Extends Mali's lead to 3 points. Dindol in the round. He doesn't get the and one. He's been incredible tonight, Shieldie Dindol. 22, 7 out of 7 from the free throw line. He's 4 assists away from a double-double. Well, you saw Shieldie Dindol's name that he doesn't have the double-double. Siriman Kanute, that's right there. 18 points, 11 assists for the Iron Man. And he's 7 steals and potentially 7 rebounds away to either a triple or quadruple double. Nearly had that accolade against Uganda, the triple-double. But didn't quite get there. That's only been achieved 3 times in FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Most recently in 2022 by Nick Kay from Australia against Chinese Taipei. It goes out of bounds. I'm not sure the Angolan fans loving the occasion so far here in Alexandria. It's going to remain Angola ball. 2:18 here in the third quarter. Time winding down the shot clock. Dindol got to make something happen. Balo comes out for the hedge. Dindol's got to shoot it, puts up a prayer, and it goes over the backboard, and it goes out of bounds. Angola discombobulated offensively. Mali's defense has been suffocating. Mali have led by as many as 5. A rematch of the FIBA AfroBasket final. Mali's hearts were broken in Luanda by Angola. And they've never ever beaten Angola. This is the 6th meeting between these two teams. Never have they ever met outside of an AfroBasket. They try to find Balo, but throws it away. Good defense by Miguel. Miguel coming off that screen, goes down the left. Gaku now goes to his left. Well, shift, shake around. Unable to finish, but another offensive rebound for Angola. That goes out of bounds. 4th still tonight here for Kanute. Could it be 12 assists? Yes, indeed it is. The finish by Mahamat Koulibaly. And it all starts with Siriman Kanute picking up 2 stats, a 4th steal and a 12th assist, and a finish by that man, Koulibaly, as he now picks up 7 points. Exciting basketball here from Mali, converting turnovers into quick, fast break buckets. Angola only down by 5, but they look speechless. Can they build something with Celton Miguel? He'll fire a 3 front iron. That's a 4th rebound for Siriman Kanute. The Iron Man showing the perseverance this evening. Kanute penetrates, finds Diarra. Goes to his left. Koulibaly's got to keep it alive, gets a 3 off in the end. Unable to get it. The potential 2-for-1 coming for Angola if they can score quickly as Milton Valente attacks. A lot of contact. Follow-up still no good. Balo with the rebound. Now it goes out of bounds, but it will be Mali ball. 7.7 seconds difference between game and shot clock. Siriman Kanute is going to go to the bench. What a game he's had tonight. Well, Claris could use a coach's challenge. I don't think he's going to go for it. Mali looking for their biggest lead this evening. Koulibaly finds Balo. Kicks out. Drame for a 3 in the corner. Not going to get it. Now it goes out of bounds. Angola will get it back. Final shot of the third quarter coming up here for Mali. Oh, excuse me, for Angola. Well, Milton Valente will go to the bench. Because he had that alley-oop play early on. It hasn't been quite the same success for him as it was against both Egypt. And there's Dundal kicking out. Islando Miguel tip in, finally gets to the go. And Kevin Kokila cuts it down to a one-possession ball game. The aggression, the fight from both teams has been spectacular. But Ibrahim Haidara may have taken a shot there on the process of the M1. Oh, excuse me, the tip in. Oh, now, that could, well, that could be a potential act of violence. Unless the referees go to the monitor to have a look at this, which I think they are going to do maybe. Kokila could be in a bit of trouble. I think the referees, well, they go into the table, so yeah, I think they are going to monitor this. So Angola, 9 out of 24 from the three-point line tonight. Both teams have missed 6 and 8 free throws, but it's been with inside the rainbow where Mali's had the advantage. Now the officials look like they go into the monitor. I think so. We'll keep you updated on that one. Mr. Double-double, Sirman Kanute working magic on the floor this evening. 18 points from the Iron Man. Also has his 11 assists, 4 rebounds, and 4 steals, but here was Selton Miguel finding Bamba Cisse on the dunk. Nice little dish out, finding Big Bamba with a bomb. And there was Kanute, alley-oop, that time connection made by Koulibaly. You know it's excitement when both Mali and Angola are in town. And there was Bamba Cisse's crucial three-pointer. Almost calming down the bleeding. That was a good hands-on defense. It was the 4th steal of the game by Sirman Kanute with his 12th assists. And again, who does he find? Mahamat Koulibaly. It's just great basketball. A great game to watch here in Group D. And I think the exciting thing to remember is these two teams will meet again. They'll play each other in window number 3, but it'll be their second window. Well, play Fantasy League. Use that QR code. Download it, register, have fun, play Fantasy League. Welcome back, everybody. Final 10, 4th and final quarter between Mali and Angola. A rematch of the 2025 FIBA AfroBasket. The first time both countries have met outside of the AfroBasket, and it's here in the 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup Qualifiers. Well, the officials did not go to review the play. The potential act of violence as Dundal really getting an M1. He'll go back to the free throw line. Foul is on Mahmani Koulibaly. Dundal, 7 out of 9 from the free throw line this evening. No, the foul is on Umar Ballo. My apologies. Eighth free throw made this evening for Dundal. He can cut it down to a 1-point deficit. And there is Ibrahim Haidara. Dundal, like Sirman Kanute, could be 4 assists away from a double-double this evening. Kanute's already achieved that accolade. 1-point lead to Mali. Kanute back in the lineup. Finds Ballo on the screen. Fakes the kick out, goes in. Big man finishes. Just too big, too dominant. Just too strong from the king of Mali. 15 tonight for Umar Ballo. So has 5 rebounds. Selton Miguel, Shildi Dundal, Abugaku, Shlana Manuel, Kevin Kokila on the floor. Oh, what a dive from Mighty Mouse. Finds Kokila, but he can't finish. 6th rebound for Ballo. And here comes Mali. Diarra finding Drame in the corner. Drame pump fakes. Goes baseline. Kicks out. Koulibaly pulls up in the mid-range and extends that lead to 5. That's cool, calm, collected play from Mali. 5 points. It's the biggest lead they've had in the game. It's not the first time they've got to this. Mali's going to get called for a foul, I believe, here. Just a bit overzealous against Kevin Kokila. Ibrahim Haidara says, I got no problem with that one. I think he appreciated the shot from Kokila at the end of the third. Oh, it's going to be a turnover. Here we go. Look out below. Koulibaly, two-handed jam. And he gives Mali their biggest lead of the game at 7 points. A rematch of the Afro-Basket final. And let me tell you, Mali looked like they took that defeat in Luanda personally. They are setting a statement. Plenty of basketball to play. Timeout called by Angola. Koulibaly really has come in and played some big moments in this game. Of course, could make history. Not only could they avenge their defeat at the Afro-Basket, but it would indeed be their first ever win against Angola. Like I said, it's the first time these two teams have met outside of an Afro-Basket. It's Coach Alhaji Dicko just trying to get some calm words. I mean, look at the pump fake by Hassan Drami, kicking it out to Mahmoud Koulibaly, who just pulls up from 15. Well, there's another game going to take place later on this evening here in Alexandria, and that's between Uganda and Egypt. Both teams looking for their first victory. Oh, they're just such a fun team to watch. Everybody talking about them now. Mahmoud Koulibaly, of course, indeed, becoming the third Malian player to double figures. Now, if Mamadou Diarra gets one more field goal, that number will move up to 4. The excitement of watching Mali make it to the final of the Afro-Basket last summer. And then the thrill of seeing Angola win their 12th championship. This is what international hoops is all about. Time winding down here for Dundal. Bruno Fernando's got to go for a 3. Well, good hands by Balo. That's going to be a 5th rebound, I believe, or 4th rebound for Siramad Kanute. No, make that number 5. So he's 5 rebounds from a triple-double. Maybe 6 steals away from a quadruple-double. Calm here for Mali. Kanute puts on that speed, goes for another 3, and makes it a 10-point lead. Iron Man with 21 this evening. Well, he's cooking. He's bowling. He's simply dominating tonight. Foul is going to be called on the ground. That's on Kanute, I believe. Well, that's going to be his 3rd personal foul. One thing Mali cannot afford is to lose Siramad Kanute, so he's got to play a little bit more disciplined. Mali with only 1 foul to give. Diarra matched up here with Bruno Fernando. Well, there's foul number 4. And why? I mean, that's clear as daylight. That's an easy decision for the referee. So Kanute now has 4 fouls. Dundal finds Kokila, goes in with a 2-handed frame rocker. Cutting it down to an 8-point deficit. Well, hope is still alive here for Angola. Like Mali, they would like to remain undefeated. Well, just to double check on what I said, I believe Kanute actually has 3 fouls, not 4 fouls, so my apologies there. Kanute caught the double team. Drame's got to help him out. Well, it goes out of bounds. That's going to go back to Mali, though. Orlando Manuel felt like that may have taken a last touch off of Keita, but Mali have it sidelined. Diarra pulls up. Quick three. Can't get it. Rebound secured by Kokila. Well, we have a slight issue here. It looks like there's an injury to... Not sure who's gone down. Looks like it's Kokila. 3 minutes almost played here in the fourth quarter. Can Mali make history and get their first ever win against Angola? That would be something for Mali basketball. The first time they met was back in 1999. Oh, taking the paint there by Bruno Fernando. And now it's a 4-0 run here for Angola. Kanute. Around the defense, finds Drame, but it's another Mali turnover. Well, cooler heads need to prevail at the moment for Mali. So Celta Miguel along with Shilde Dundell in the backcourt. Bruno Fernando just being a pressure reliever at the moment. Remember, Mali don't have any fouls to give. Ibrahima Haidara also back in the lineup for Mali. Dundell backs the paint. There's the kick out. Finds this Orlando Manuel. He's made a 3 tonight and makes another one. And all of a sudden, that 10-point lead now is disintegrated into a one-possession ball game. Angola's still in it. Haidara turns it over. Here comes Celta Miguel. Goes in, he's fouled. So 2 free throws coming up for Angola. Incredible. Oh, could that have been a potential basket interference maybe? Well, Mali's gonna call timeout. 6:09, having led by as many as 10. Is the haunting memories of playing against Angola gonna come back to get them? El Hadji Dicko's just got to find a bit of calm in his players' play at the moment. As soon as they built that 10-point lead, it's almost like they took the foot off the gas and just kind of went into too much relaxation mode. Well, Mali are much better from the three-point line. I mean, they're an 18% three-point shooting team so far here in this window of Group D, but tonight they are 38%. But shooting 58% from the field collectively, that just goes to show just how good this team is. And they do it against a team that defeated them in the AfroBasket final. And as El Hadji Dicko said, after defeating Egypt on the first game, we expect to get to the Basketball World Cup in Doha. Well, he's 5 rebounds away from a triple-double. The Iron Man of Mali, Siri Ahmed Kanute, 21 points this evening. Also chipping in 13 assists, but unfortunately, 8 turnovers for the man who plays for Orléans Loiret in France's 2nd division of pro basketball. Also, a very good night here for Omar Balos. 4 rebounds away from a double-double with his 15 points. Well, those Angolan fans, they have not lost hope here tonight. They are the kings and the queens of African hoops. Their national team, 12-time African champions of the AfroBasket. And they want to get to a 10th FIBA Basketball World Cup. And now it's a 1-point deficit. 14 points tonight for Celta Miguel. Mali's going to go to the bench. They currently have Haidara out there on the floor. Lamadou Mabalo. Finds Haidara. He's made 1-3 tonight. Can't get this one. Angola now can reclaim the lead. Over 4 minutes played here in the fourth. Mighty Mouse. They go down low to Bruno Fernando. No fouls for Mali to give. Fernando bumps and he reclaims the lead for Angola. That 10-point lead has simply vanished from Mali. Diarra penetrates. Out of control. But a blocking foul is going to be called against Kevin Kokila. Only the second team foul against Angola, but it's tough to see from that angle. Did he get there in time? Was he set or was he late? Well, the officials have concluded it was late. It was a blocking foul called. So a chance for Mali to reclaim the lead. Mali have missed 8 free throws tonight, but Mamadou Diarra, 4 out of 5 from the charity stripe. Oh, he missed it. Just a little too short. But he can level things up. 5:29 here in the fourth quarter. Oh, he missed them both. The pressure indeed getting to Mamadou Diarra. Can Angola build on the lead? Well, that's going to be, oh no, almost a 5th steal for Canute. Final seconds, Celta Miguel pulls up, big 3. Doesn't get it. And a foul is going to be called against Oumar Ballo. And the problem for Mali, any more fouls they commit will just send Angola to the free throw line. So now it's Bruno Fernando with the charity stripe. That's a good call, yeah. You can clearly see Ballo coming from behind against Fernando. 8 points this evening for Bruno Fernando, can become the 3rd Angolan player in double figures. He is averaging a double-double because he only played the 1 game against Egypt. Oh, I missed them both. Well, they want a backcourt violation, but the argument is Angola didn't have full possession. It only took a deflection from the rebound. Final seconds. Fernando, post up. Miguel kicks out, and that's a 24-second violation. 3rd time tonight Mali's forced Angola into that. I think Orlando Miguel telling Bruno, listen, you got to go to work. The paint is your domain. I think a foul is going to be called on Angola here. I think there's a holding foul called. That's on Shilde Dundo. Mali down by 1. Angola now only 1 foul to give. 27 points scored from Angola from the turnovers. There's another one. Well, here comes Bruno Fernando. Bruno time! And obrigado from big Bruno Fernando. And that's going to be the 4th and final team foul against Angola. It's on Orlando Miguel, and that's a good call. Clearly a blocking foul. Well, things getting heated now here between Siriman Canute and Celta Miguel. Ibrahima Haidara trying to be the peacemaker, as well as Orlando Miguel. Kokila, guy who gave Haidara the shot at the end of the 3rd quarter. A 4th foul against Orlando Miguel. 3-point lead currently to Angola. Oh, it's been an exciting game. The 2 teams who made it to the final in Luanda, Angola for the AfroBasket. It was Angola who won their 12th championship. Both teams looking to remain undefeated here in the World Cup qualifiers. All roads end in Doha 2027. And given how these two teams have progressed, you got to think both of them could be getting to Doha. Idera with the quick first step, hangs, can't get it, good defense. Fernando comes up with it. Still plenty of basketball to play here in the fourth. Bruno senses a mismatch. Kicks out the Celta. Miguel goes baseline, pulls up from 15. Rebound secure by Koulibaly. Canute just trying to work a ball screen, gets caught in a double. Finds Koulibaly. Koulibaly kicks out. They can tie things up. Idera. Well, it was a good look. Canute comes up with it. Now Diarra. Under 10 on the shot clock here for Mali. Koulibaly twisting, turning, nowhere to go. Puts up a tough one, and it just won't go. But Koulibaly comes up with it. Diarra could level things up, and it almost went in. 3 good looks there for Mali. Nothing converted. Just over 3 minutes left. Angola leading by 3, having trailed by as many as 10 here in the fourth. Fernando coming up for the high screen. Remember, Bruno Fernando's got 4 fouls. Dundul hangs in the air, can't get it. 6th rebound now for Canute. Cross court, finds Diarra, out of control. And that's going to be another Mali turnover. You can be frustrated with Diarra, but that was a tough pass to receive. Now just over 2.5 to go here in the fourth. Can Angola make it a 2-possession ball game? Fernando trying to seal off against Umar Balo. Now they get it to Bruno. Twisted, nice post work, and Bruno can't finish. Diarra comes up with the board, but can Mali find a bucket? This team's come a long way. They've never defeated Angola. Koulibaly, seal off, finds Balo. A lot of contact, no foul given. Incredible. Miguel should have seen Bruno Fernando with a seal-off and a mismatch against Idera. Under 10 here for Angola. Dundul gets that screen for Kokila, goes to his left. In around the defense, gets rejected. Now Canute has it. Finds Balo. Balo goes in, and now the foul is called. Well, Kokila. Oh, was this Shlando Manuel? Excuse me, something was said. I don't know what was said there. Shlando Miguel upset Umar Balo with something. I don't know what happened there. I think you got to like the look there from Islando Miguel, because I don't know if he fouled him or if he said something, but we'd have to see the replay to find out what had transpired. But Umar Balo at the free throw line this evening, and that's a 5th. Well, so he did foul. That's the 5th foul against Islando Miguel. So he's out of it. He's done. Looks like Milton Valence is going to come back in the lineup. Well, Umar Balo, 5 out of 10 from the free throw line this evening, as Islando Miguel is going to leave. Just had his 2 3-pointers. Can Balo cut it down to a 1-point deficit with 1:34 left? Gets the first one. 6th made free throw, 2-point ball game. Well, Miguel, maybe trying to process his innocence to Lucchetti. 3 rebounds away from a double-double. Mali could have 2 players in a double-double this evening. It's a lane violation, I think, so it's going to be another free throw. Milton Valent just lost his balance. I think you can hear the Angola bench saying, Milton, what are you doing? I meant to say he can make the next free throw to cut it down to a 2-point ball game, not one, but can make it cut it down to a 1-possession deficit. 7th made free throw tonight for Umar Ballo. Mali's got to dig deep. Angola's just got to keep putting the ball in the net. Remember, Fernando also has 4 fouls. Wants to go up against Umar Ballo. Well, Fernando trying to take a body with him. Milton Valent keeps this one alive. And in the end, it's put away by Kevin Kokila. Back to a 2-possession ball game. Mali came so close to coming up with possession. Remember, Angola don't have any fouls to give. Derek can make it a 1-point ball game. Doesn't get it. Big rebound by Kevin Kokila. Well, there's the seal off by Fernando. Time winding down here. Mali's got to get a stop. Dudol, the heavy 3, and that's going to be a 24-second violation. It's actually a 3-point deficit. So timeout call by Mali. 3.5 seconds difference between game and shot clock. They don't necessarily need to go for a 3-pointer. They just need to get something to minimize the deficit. Put on a bit of full court pressure. If anything, then you got a foul. Well, it's a big moment now. Remember, Mali have never, ever defeated Angola. They've met 5 times. It's all been in FIBA AfroBasket's 1999. Of course, the most recent one was the FIBA AfroBasket final. But they've got to come up with something here this evening. There was a look at that final look. The 24-second violation. So for Angola, really, it's kind of just defend one final play. There was Mighty Mouse, the AfroBasket MVP, and what a shot that would have been. Well, what is Coach El-Hadji Dicko drawing up here? I mean, they have attempted quite a lot of 3-pointers tonight, Mali, but they've only converted 6 out of 20. The officials are just trying to maybe decide how much time is left on the clock there by the amount of times we've seen that replay. Well, Angola's got to defend one last play. Mali just needs to score here. If they get a 3, great. If not, just get something quick and then take a gamble with some full court pressure. Well, they've advanced the ball. Canute finds Koulibaly, can level things up. Oh, baby! Canute finding Koulibaly, and that's been the connection tonight. What a play indeed. You gotta love this Malian national team. They refuse to give up. Their 7th 3-point field goal ties it up with 22.6, and Angola will get it back. What a game we have here in Alexandria, Egypt. 2027 FIBA Basketball World Cup qualifiers. Koulibaly looking like Reggie Miller in a Mali national team jersey. What a 3-pointer. That's big time. Ice cold in the veins. 3rd leading scorer tonight for Mali as he knocks down that 7th 3-pointer, and he ties this game up. Hope is still alive for Mali. That is big from Mahmane Koulibaly, who was instrumental, fundamental, simply dominant for them, getting them to the AfroBasket final. And he's a part of the foundation that's trying to get them to the Basketball World Cup. I actually think it's not tied up. The score graphic has been incorrect, I believe. I think it's a 1-point lead to Angola. Now, we had the score graphic say it was tied, so we're trying to correct that at the moment. So, yes, I was correct. Okay, so Angola actually have a 1-point lead. We're not tied. So, apologies with the incorrect score graphic. So it's a 1-point lead to Angola. Mali again, any foul, they'll want to try to put a bit of pressure, force a turnover. And then they'll want to come up with a steal. If anything, then they got a foul and send Angola to the free throw line. Good hands by, well, yes, Mali get it back. Iron Man, Siri Iron Man Karute forces that turnover. Mali will get it back. What hustle, heart, and effort by that young man. Well, the officials might have a review here, actually. Or unless it's Pep Claros' call for, I think it's a head coach's challenge by Pep Claros. Well, we're going to find out. Did this take a last touch off of Shilde Dundol? Incredible scenes tonight here in Alexandria, Egypt. Because it wasn't like this at the FIBA AfroBasket final. Angola dominated right from the first quarter to their 12th championship. But tonight, that's not the same story. Now, tough to see from this angle. Oh, I think it does actually come off of Dundol. Or does it? Need a closer review of that. Well, does Dundao get a fingertip to it after a slight, slender deflection from Siriman Karute? Very inconclusive from that angle, which if it becomes inconclusive, it's going to remain the same decision, which means it will be Mali ball, because that was the initial decision by the referee. Well, they've made a choice. They've decided who gets possession. Yep, Mali's got it, 22.4. They'll have it on the baseline and a chance to win this game. Any bucket would indeed win it for Mali now. And I think the ball's going in the hands of one man, and that's him, the Iron Man. Siriman Karute, 21 points this evening. Angola don't have any fouls to give. Balo's got it. Here we go. Now there's time between game and shot clock. Karute, got it by Dundol. Help side defenders getting ready. Karute spins, goes up. And Siri Iron Man Karute gives Mali a 1-point lead. Incredible scenes here in Alexandria. The Iron Man from Mali. 23 points for the Iron Man. 6 rebounds, 15 assists, and 4 steals. My goodness. He's played with his heart on his sleeve tonight. Penetrates, twist, turn, and the Iron Man gives them the lead. And could it be the first victory for Mali ever against Angola in 6 meetings? What a game we've had here tonight. What a bucket. Timeout call by Pep Claros. 9.4. Surely Angola is going to advance this. They'll have one final shot. Well, this young team, with the exception of their leader, Ibrahima Haidara, only back in 2019, many of these young players, Umar Balo, Sirman Kanute, featured for Mali's U19 at the World Cup, making it to that final only to lose to the United States. But the future of Mali basketball looks bright. It's exciting, it's exhilarating. But can they get one final stop and for the first time in their history, defeat Angola? If they do that, they'll put the haunting memories of the Afro basket behind them. This is what it's all about. Abu Gaku's going to inbound it. Angola, one bucket to win it. The kings of Africa right now being tested. Here we go. They want to go to Dundal. Mali don't want to foul. Kokila finds Shilde Dundal. Dundal, offensive foul. What a defensive play by Mamadou Diarra. What incredible perseverance. He took the charge. And look what it means to him. Angola's called a head coach's challenge, but a timeout is going to be called by El Hadj Dicko, the head coach of Mali. History's going to be made tonight here either way if Mali wins. This is why you watch the FIBA Basketball World Cup African Qualifiers. Exciting scenes here, to say the least. Well, you just got to get the ball in bounds. Anticipate getting fouled quickly and just go to the free throw line. But Mali tonight have missed 10 free throws at 20 out of 30 from the charity stripe. Umar Balo's taking the most free throws for them. But ideally, they want to put the ball in the hands of Sirman Kanute. He's 5 out of 6. Mamadou Diarra is 4 out of 7. But just get it inbound, get fouled, get to the charity stripe quickly. Surely they'll want to advance the ball, keep it away from their basket. Well, he's going to be infuriated with his team if they don't win. But it's not the end of the world. Like I said, they'll meet Mali again. Even if they are to lose by potentially 2 or 3, I mean, they can still come back and win. It's not over, but I'm saying, even if they're to lose, it would be by a small margin, which would mean, hypothetically, a head-to-head victory is still possible if they get tied on the same bracket. So, Coach Dicko's advanced the ball. 4.6 here for Mali. Mamadou Diarra will inbound it. Abu Gaku, Celta Miguel, Brasmachi watching from the bench. They're going to inbound it. Oh, perfect here for Angola. Because it's Umar Balo that's going to get fouled. They could have got it to Sirman Kanute. Balo so far, 7 out of 12 from the charity stripe, 58%. He's got 17 points and 7 rebounds. This is not a case of deliberately trying to miss the second one, because they could easily get the ball up the floor at 3.7. Well, here's the time you got to make it, big fella. You've been brilliant tonight. Close to making history for his country to get that first win against Angola. Oh, he missed it. Still belief here for Angola. Still a little bit of time left. Again, Angola, if you do miss it, or if you make it, you don't want to foul. They have no fouls to give. Mali, I meant. But can he knock down this free throw? Oh, lane violation against Mali. So, Angola, 3.7 to try and win this. Mali don't want to foul. And Shilde Dundal is inbounding this one, which is interesting because he's their fastest player. Well, they got to get it inbound. They find Celta Miguel. Miguel going the length of the floor. There's a three. They didn't get it off in time. Mali make history. For the first time in 6 meetings, they have defeated Angola. The rematch of the FIBA Afrobasket final. But now it's here. Their first meeting outside of the Afrobasket, and history's been made for Mali. The team who lost to Angola in the Afrobasket final have avenged this young team, who many of them played for Mali's U19 at the 2019 U19 World Cup. Aberdeen made history, and well, things getting out of hand here. Well, we can talk about the stats, of course. Mali 6 3-pointers made, 21 field goals from inside the rainbow, missing 12 free throws. But the job was done in the end. While Angola did out-rebound Mali with 4+ rebounds, Mali had 20 turnovers in total. Siri Iron Man Kanute led Mali with 23. Shildin Ndol, the leading scorer here this evening. Well, the players just need to get off the floor. They need to go to the changing room. It's a historical night here for Mali, and they don't want things to be spoiled here, but something obviously has transpired that's led to this confrontation. It's not the first confrontation they've had tonight, but the players and coaches just need to go to the changing room. Oh, Mapalo, having missed those last 2 free throws, had 17 points, and the talking point was the double-double from Siri Iron Man Kanute. 15 assists with his 23 points, and was 4 rebounds away from a triple-double. He nearly had a triple-double against Uganda. The kick out in the corner by Drame, that time finding Koulibaly. Here's where they went down. They found a way back in at Mali. But here was Koulibaly in transition. Two-handed rim rocker. The dive down low, finding double K. Kevin Kokila. What a pass by Shildin Ndol. Well, Ndol led the game tonight in scoring. Was finishing with 24 points, and that was Shlado Miguel with a 3-pointer. Because Ndol was 1 assist away from a double-double tonight, but didn't get to that accolade. And there was Bruno with a one-handed jam. And the final bucket that gave Mali the lead. The Iron Man, the chosen one. A family legacy. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree with the Kanute family. His father regarded as one of the greatest, if not the best player in Mali's history as point guard. And he's continuing the family legacy, and history was made indeed for Mali. Well, another game about to take place this evening, as indeed Egypt will be hosting Uganda, both teams in search of their first victory here in the FIBA World Cup qualifiers. But big success tonight for Mali. 6 times they played against Angola, 5 times they've lost, but finally they've avenged. They've finally beaten the kings of African basketball. What it means to these Malian players. They've come so far. They've finally done the job. Well, we'll take a look at the standings. Mali remain undefeated, and they will finish this window top of Group D. An exciting matchup, of course. But now, it's not over this evening, as both Uganda and Egypt will be taking on each other later on. Well, that game tips off in 48 minutes time, so go get a drink, go get something. Remember, there's other games going on this evening here in the World Cup qualifiers. But will either Egypt or Uganda pick up their first win? Well, we'll see you around later. Tip-off time in 48 minutes.